Today we're gonna talk about watching video games versus playing them. So this isn't really play versus. You know what? Okay, I don't play video games. I really don't. I just don't enjoy them as much. Right now, I just watch video games. So games are the most interactive form of storytelling. You are the person fighting the fights. You're the person making the decisions, and you feel the sense of victory, toil, and suffering. Like if a character dies in a video game, you feel that. You feel it a lot more than you would in like a book, right? It's just very immersive. Now, playing video games requires three things. You need the device, the actual game, and you need time to play the game. Now, I'm kind of like, I kind of have all three, but just not in like the amount I would like to. Like the device, like I don't really have a very good gaming computer, so I've never enjoyed playing games. Like I never had the chance to experience them because if I played a game, Heroes of the Storms, MOBAs, like FPS games, it was just so laggy. I just couldn't like play like in a way that was enjoyable because my device performance was just too bad. And now, yeah, the actual game now that costs money. Lots of games they get expensive. They go like $20 above, you know, like you know like $9 to $50. It's just it requires money. My like viewpoint on it is like I don't want to spend my parents' money on a game when it's just like you know when I could be studying for school and stuff. And then the last thing you need is time. And yeah, I don't need to say much more about that. You know, you need time to play a video game. It's like an investment. I have watched NieR Gestalt, NieR Automata, Xenoblade 2, Ghost Detective, Detroit Become Human, Little Nightmares, The Walking Dead, Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Tales of Berseria, Drakengard 3, Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us, Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy VII remakes, and a bunch of random Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie playthroughs of random games. Never to completion though, just randomly. Yeah, even though I'm not the one playing the game, I still get very emotionally invested in these characters and the game. It's just like it's a credit to how well designed the storytelling of these video games are. Like video games, they tell complete stories that practically super long movies or TV shows. Like a movie is less than 2 hours, but video games they can like easily go past like the 30-hour mark. It's just crazy. You get so much content and stories. Like it's like you can really like dive in and immerse yourself in something rather than just like you know you pick it up, watch it for 2 hours, and then like that's it. You know, just like you don't think about it for more than like one day because it's done, it's finished. But video games like it really is like a good pastime. And now with Fire Emblem Three Houses, one of my favorite games for its setting and its characters, most importantly, you have these things called supports, which are conversations between the characters. It's fully voiced and animated. And like it really gives you like a deeper view into the game, the game's world and its characters. Like you just really can like nerd out and just like sit back and relax, you know, just like watch a nice little conversation between two anime looking people. It's just so enjoyable. I just like go on YouTube sometimes when I'm bored. I'm just like watch like look up like you know like who like I don't know like yeah it's nice. You know, God love the supports. It really brings character to the game. And now so I'm a big anime fan, but anime has one teensy bincy problem that kind of makes it bad. It's like I don't like watching long shows like Naruto or Avatar, so this is why it applies to me. Is that I end up watching shorter anime, and let me tell you, there's a curse, right? It's a lot of anime shows out there are amazing, but they only have 1 or 2 seasons. Like the story never gets complete because they made this promotional material for like the source material, like the book, and they expect you to like you know watch the anime, wonder what happens next, and then buy the book, but yeah, I don't read Japanese, so I can't do that. I don't want to read the books. Like take ReZero. Wait, no, what is it called? Yeah, ReZero for example. Like I watched the fan translation on the web after seeing season one, and my gosh, arc 4 was so boring. Like, I read it, I was just like I love the story, but it's just going so slow. Like watching an anime, like in those 24 minutes of an anime, they can condense so much information and get it across in like an engaging way that makes you like wonder like what's gonna happen next episode. Meanwhile, when I was reading it, I was like, what's gonna happen? Like this is just so like they've been stuck in the same place. This guy just can't stop dying. Like oh my god, like yeah, I just enjoy things in a visual format so much better. Yeah, now I'm strapped for time and patience. Like don't tell anyone this, but I'm kind of bad at video games. Like you know what? No, I'm not bad. It's just like it takes effort to play a video game. And like when I sit down and want to play something, it's not because I want to like use my brain cells, you know, want to like start running the gears in my head like I'm doing math. No, I do not want to do. I want to avoid at all times. Like I like a good puzzle, you know, like something where like yeah, you think about it, you make like a good loadout, right, and then you see it work brilliantly, right, like you know, just like works, you tinker around with it. But at some points it gets frustrating. Like video games can be hard and they almost feel like a chore sometimes, like especially with games that are grind. You know, you have to grind, get levels up, and you want to like progress to the next day. No, I hate that. I hate that. You have to grind for a few hours to get the materials to be the boss, fight repetitive enemies, and you do a lot of button spamming and waiting through loading screens, which is not fun. I don't like RPG games for the gameplay. Like I don't really think anyone does. I'm a fan of them for the story, and the gameplay gets in the way of that sometimes. Watching video games is like eating a good meal without having to cook it. Sometimes it's fun to do, and other times it's more of a chore. Yeah, one game I played a lot growing up was Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2. It was a JRPG, but I didn't know much about games at the time. I just thought it was a video game and I played it. It had good story, voice acting, and it had a really nice art style. But the gameplay was very repetitive and grindy. I played both games for about a year, but I never reached the end. I just stopped. You know, it just gets hard and then it gets boring. Yeah, so I usually got stuck on the second to last dungeon sections. Like it's just the game. You just fight the same monsters over and over in the same scenery, but it's randomly generated, but it's still the same. And then you have to constantly like eat bread and repair your weapons all the freaking time. It's just like, bro, this is just so boring. It had a lot of extra pastimes. I have a photography system, I have a fishing system, golfing system. But I played the game for the story, and like doing all those hobbies and stuff in the game was just extra fluff, and I did not need that. Another game, Legend of the Dragoon, was a very interesting game. I only finished it up until disc 2, and there were 4 discs. It had these features of random encounter battles like many other JRPG games of the time, but they don't do that anymore because it sucks. Like you'll be walking through the map, right, and there's like this icon on top of you, and it will just like the more you walk, eventually it'll go red, and then you get sucked into a random battle. Like you have to fight, you can't just run from it. And I hated it. It was so annoying. It's like you can like if you want to walk to a map and just explore it, you can't. You have to you have to like look at every path and make your shortcut. You want to go from like the entrance to the exit as fast as possible because you don't want to deal with those random battles. They're so annoying. It made traveling and progressing the game harder than it needed to be, and it wasted so much time when I'd rather be experiencing the story. And I also grew up watching my dad play Resident Evil, Diablo, Red Alert, Command & Conquer. Wow, those are really mature games. Yeah, Diablo was scary. Naturally, young kids are interested in whatever their siblings or parents are interested in, so I would say my dad's laugh when he played these games. The first 2 games, Resident Evil and Diablo, was scary, but I stuck to it because my dad was there, you know, and yeah. The other 2 games were strategy games. It was fun to watch and see my dad slowly build up an army and then eventually like attack with his huge army. It was just lots of fun, you know, like watching video games can be engaging too. I know a lot of people have experiences similar to this, like they watch their friends or their cousins play on like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Yeah, good times. One awkward thing though is when you're talking to someone and you learn that you're both fans of the same game, and then they bring up stuff about the gameplay, you know, they talk about their favorite character or how hard the fight is and how long it took them to finish, and then they ask you about that and you're just like I didn't play the game, I just watched it, you know. It's like, are you a true fan if you didn't play the game? And sometimes people feel betrayed or disappointed by this, but it's not really bad because at the end of the day, you both of you found something in common. Currently, I'm waiting for NieR Replicant version 1.22. Oh my god, I want to watch it. They really made the graphics look a lot better. Yeah, I want to see it when it comes out. And I also hope that we can get news on the next Fire Emblem remake or game. But there's been nothing so far, and they say that Fire Emblem games come out like 4 years at a time, so yeah, that's a wait. That's a long wait.